Hello, my dear gringo friends. We're finishing the first week of June and starting new political dramas. Let me tell you. My name is Indira and this is Cuenca News. Yellow Cuenca hospitals in red. Comparing to last week, new COVID-19 cases have incremented in 115% this week. Friday night, the hospital Jose Carrasco Arteaga in Cuenca was overflowing its COVID units with almost 50 hospitalized and the intensive care unit full. A source confirmed that we are close in days of not having space to place intensive care patients. Cuenca inaugurating his tranvía, but destruction and vandalism to sections of the electronical supply of the tranvía happened this week. Investigations through camera systems are being made to follow the legal procedures against those destroying public property. Cuenca still in yellow and taxes on Sundays. Authority decided to approve that Cuenca will maintain the yellow semaphore for this coming week. Private transportation will not be permitted on Sundays, but taxis will provide their service. And now let's talk about the corruption circus that continues. After a quarantine full of corruption news, this week it seems was time to show that something could be done against corruption. And started the corruption show. I'm sure you may have had the chance to hear about one of our former presidents. His name is Abdallah Bucaram. Let me just recall a little of his curriculum. He came into power with a populist speech. He claimed to be the strength of the poor and became president. After 6 months, was destituted by the Congress under the causal of mental disability to rule. He left the country for Panama, which offered him political asylum. On a flight where it's assured by some they were 11 bags full of the money of the people of Ecuador. Bucaram was a fugitive from Ecuadorian justice for 20 years until the statute of limitation expired, and he came back to the country in 2017. Yes, and this week this figure was detained for investigations of presumptive embezzle medical supplies and illegal possessions of weapons. In his house in Guayaquil were found cages with masks and COVID tests. At the end, he is under house arrest while the investigations continue. And some other personalities were also detained. The prefect of the province of Guayas, that now wears an electronic shackle for the investigation of corruption on the contracts of medical supplies. The assemblyman Daniel Mendoza and the director of the Service of Contract Works for presumptive organized crime associated with a hospital in Pedernales. Who will be next? Let's see this coming week. Legal matters. This week, it was announced that courts and legal terms are resumed. So, if you have any legal process you are aware of, you could ask me for some detailed information. I'm sure you know what is happening internationally. So let's just talk about this kid with hope that in Kenya, a 9-year-old boy received an award for the construction of a wood machine to wash hands as a COVID-19 prevention manner. We are so happy for him, and this news gives us hope. And this week, Cuencanos are losing one of its best radio stations, which is called Ondas de Suayes. We want to thank them for all the efforts they did to maintain us informed. We have a lot to improve in this coming week. Let's see how we go. The Cuenca weather is getting cold, so stay warm and stay home as much as possible. If you want us to ask the right questions, let us know. This has been all for today, and see you next week.